Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today it's going to be another fix-it video, another video where I bought something faulty off eBay and I'm going to do my best to fix it. Now, as I keep saying in all these videos, I am not an expert in these repairs, but bit by bit I am getting better, but still don't copy what you see in the video, because most of the time I realise from the comments after the video's been filmed that a lot of it was done incorrectly, but still take this purely for entertainment. Now, before I show you what's inside here, I must stress, I don't really know why I bought this one. I think bargain hunting got the better of me because it was so cheap, but I have actually no need for this. I think my kids are going to be too old for it. I've never had one, it doesn't bring back any memories for me. It was just purely the fact that it was faulty. So let me show you what it is. Also, I'm really intrigued how they managed to post it out for the price I bought it for, because as you can see, it's quite a bulky thing. Right, okay, so yeah, packaging's absolutely fine. Now, it said it was from the 1980s, but I don't remember them myself. Getting there. Well, they have packed it very well. Very well. Okay. Here it is. It is a talking super smart start Vtech. Right, so I think it is some kind of speak and spell, but I'm not too sure. That feels very loose there. But yeah, condition wise, a little bit dusty, but it seems okay. We've got a jack there, maybe that's to supply power to it. Looks like there's quite a lot of food or something. Oh, it's still got batteries in it. Right, okay, I don't know whether they're new or old. I mean, they don't look, they definitely haven't leaked, so maybe they forgot to take the batteries out. The price I paid, it'd be worth it just for the batteries alone. Right, okay, let me show you what this is. So I got it from eBay, and this was the listing here, and it was only up for £5 with free postage and packaging. So basically, it's to me, that's impossible. That is impossible to post that. Pay your eBay PayPal fees for £5. So they must have made a loss on this. But it just says 1980s talking super smart start vintage children's learning toy spares and repair. And yeah, it's got some pictures of it. And it just says here, cosmetically in brilliant condition, I can't find, and the obvious reason why it won't turn on, it's been stored in the attic for over 20 years. Great vintage 1980s toy, great for spares, repair or circuit bending. Okay, but honestly, it's a museum piece. Any questions, please ask. So, although I'm not necessarily interested in this, anything that's broken is interesting in my opinion. So, let's put some of my batteries in here, just in case they tested it with faulty batteries, and let's see if we can get to the bottom of why this doesn't work. Right, so let's pop some batteries in and see if we get the same result. Those Panasonic batteries feel so light compared to these ones. Right, the terminals here are perfect. I don't even know how you turn this thing on. Is it just a case of opening it turns it on? And this does feel very loose. I wonder whether the fact that this is loose means it's not turning on properly. Maybe there's something in here where it turns on when you open it up. Right, okay, well it's definitely not doing anything, so well, I suppose we'll just straight away, let's take it apart, and then if I'm really not getting anywhere with it, I can maybe see if I can find a YouTube clip exactly how this thing is supposed to work, but maybe it will become apparent when I open it up. I don't think I'm missing anything there. There doesn't seem to be any on and off switch. Yeah, okay, let's take the batteries out and let's open it up. Right, so we've got various screws around here, so I'm just going to undo them all and then take it apart, and hopefully it will become a little bit more obvious. Right, here we go. Right, okay. Right, what do we have here? So all the contacts on the batteries are still intact. It goes off to this. So this is a little adapter, so you don't have to use the batteries. Then it goes off into here. So I should be able to put batteries in here and then measure the voltage on these bits here. So what have we got here? We got, that's just joined together there with a resistor. Goes off to the speakers. So if I go across these three here, I should be able to work out about the voltages, and if we're getting voltage here, then it means it's okay to there. I'm wondering why they've done that little contact there. Maybe it's just so it doesn't fall out. It's just a kind of like knobbly bit there. I'm just wondering. Oh, it's a knobbly bit there as well. Must be just what they used. Oh, it's just for the spring. I get it now. It's just a spring. Right, okay, let's pop some batteries in. Let's get a multimeter, set it to DC volts. First things first, I'm just going to go across here. Yeah, 6.4. So they're 1.5 each. There's 4 of them. Yeah, so that means they're absolutely fine there. Let's go across here. See what's what. That's nothing on that one. Hold on a minute. Right, so we've got it there. We've got it here. Let's just make sure the wires themselves are okay. Yeah, so we've got that there. But then have we got any this side? No. And have we got any this side? No. So it's not getting through this adapter here, by the look of it. Surely you don't have to have an adapter plugged into it, or do you? Maybe I should watch a YouTube video on it. Surely this adapter should be passing through the voltage. This is just like, one of those kind of, I don't know, like 3.5mm or whatever. So that red one is on the outer pins and the brown one's in the middle pins. So what's this one? What's the white one do? One second, let me go to continuity. Right, so no continuity, no Right, so there's continuity. Continuity there between the red and the brown. Between the red and the brown. Okay, so that means why is it not going there then? 1 second. Right, that's there. No, there's not continuity there. Could it just be this faulty? Could it be this adapter somehow has gone faulty? You know, I've come across this before on video, their little handheld grandstand games, but I never really took any notice of it, so I don't really know how it should be wired up. But I'm thinking it should always allow... Do you know what? Let's think about this a minute. Let's use our brains. When the plug is not in here, it has to allow the current through, and then when you then put the plug into it, it should disconnect the batteries. Otherwise, you're still going to be draining the batteries at the same time, aren't you? So when you put the plug in, it should lift up this thing here. So when we put the plug in, it should lift this up here and cause it to disconnect. But when it's connected, this brown should be in contact with the red. I think that might be just it. I think the brown should always be in contact with the red unless you actually plug a plug into it, and then when you plug a plug in, it lifts up this thing here, which should then disconnect this brown, because this brown looks like it's connected to that bit there. In fact, we can verify that with the thing here. So let me put the contact on here and here. Yeah, so that's the same, and then this one here should be in contact with the brown, so that needs to be down, but it's not. I think it's just a faulty adapter, unless I've got this completely wrong. So if we were to touch these two wires together here, if we were to touch and the white is the ground, the same as the black here, isn't it? Which is the negative. So when you're using the adapter, the white is the negative, and when you're using the batteries, this black wire here is the negative. So the current has to go between here and here. These two have to be connected. So let me short these two together and then see if it then turns on. Right, so I'm going to short these two together like so. Now let's see what happens. Let me zoom out a bit. Oops. Anything? On. Here we go!
Please enter a game.
Hey! Right, okay. So, wow. Faulty adapter. So now let's try to find out how we can get this to work okay. I know I can just short it, but I don't want to do that because somebody in the future might want to use an adapter on it. So let's see if we can take this apart. I wonder, does it unscrew or... Tell you what, let's use the macro feature, get right in there and see what's going on. Okay, so here we have it. So my thinking is that this bit here has to always be in contact with these two prongs here, and it's not. You see, it just even feels a bit loose. So we're going to have to bend, I think, let's have a look. I need to get a torch to look right in there. I wonder if that little hook is supposed to go up into the plastic. So do you see this? See this little bit here? I wonder whether that is supposed to sit up in this bit here, and this is supposed to be pushed right up. Might be too high though, would it? No, they're not supposed to go in there. It's bent up too much. Let's bend that back down. Let's see if that's making contact now. I wonder, could it be a little bit dirty as well in there? Well, okay, let's see if that's see if that's making contact now or not. Yeah, so that's making contact now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a, I mean, I don't know what size this is. I'm going to get a 3.5mm jack, put it in there, and then see if it disconnects. I just want to see if this front bit is shorting with this white wire. Yeah. So that's exactly what happens. Right, let me zoom out now. I'm going to get a 3.5mm jack, see what's happening. Right, okay, so this is just an audio one. I just want to see if it does separate the thing out. No, it doesn't. Right, let's bend it down again. Right, okay, so that's separated now. Let's pull it out and see if they join. Yeah, they do. Oh, this is just broken. Okay, but that's not a problem. I can solder that back on. Right, so these two are joined, and then when I plug this in, these two have separated. There we go. So, yeah, there we go. It breaks it. Right, so all I have to do is solder this wire back on, and it should all be working. Well, I found that quite interesting, that just a small little connection like that has mucked up. What I'm thinking is maybe somebody's put something in there and it was a little bit big, or it might have hooked it somehow. But anyway, let me solder this back on here, and it should now be working okay. Right, while I'm waiting for my cheap old soldering iron to heat up, I'm going to just take apart this bit here just to see what it looks like, because some of you will probably be interested. So I can see the two ribbon cables going off to the keyboard. I'm not too bothered about looking at the bottom of the keyboard, because it's just going to be a load of like pressure pad type things. Same, I presume something similar to that MB Microvision that I took apart before. So I don't really need to get involved in that. Behind here is just going to be the LCD, so again I don't need to really look at that either. I'm just going to take this bit off here just to see what's on the other side of it. Yeah, so that ribbon cable there has just been like hot glue gunned down onto the other circuit board for the LCD display. There we go. Right, okay. Right, okay, so we've got a continuity there now, so it should work. Let me just try to jack one more time before I close this up. Actually, I might as well just close it up anyway and then try it, because they're just going to keep popping out. So when I should be able to just turn it on, and then if it goes off when I plug the jack in, I know it's okay. So you can hear it. There you go, and now it's gone off. Yep, so 100% it's working. See, it won't go on now. Yeah. Right, okay, let me close it up, and then what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of working out to see out how this thing actually works, and then I'll just give you a quick demonstration of it. I'm not going to go into too much detail, because if I'm honest with you, I'm not too interested in it. Right, okay, while I'm here, I might as well just put a wet wipe over it just to give it a little bit of a clean. There is a few sort of caked in bits of food and stuff. Right, this thing has come up near enough perfect. So ignore the fingerprints on it, but look at that, add a few little bits of paint on it. But it looks absolutely perfect. And do you know what? I'm looking at it. It's got A-E-I-O-U on it. It's got the vowels in a different colour. I'm thinking this might. Now, I sort of thought that this was going to be for 3 or 4 year olds, but I don't think that is going to be the case. So let's put these original batteries back in just to see if they work as a bonus. And then I'm going to exactly see how complicated this is, because maybe go. Maybe this will be suitable for example, my son. Right, okay. I'm going to have a play around with this and see exactly what it does. Back shortly. Okay, so I've been mucking around with this, and it is actually quite challenging. There's some stuff here that really makes you think, and some of the ones where you have to rearrange words I actually can't get myself. Now, I'm not saying that's a sign of anything, but this is definitely not made for 3 year olds, put it that way. So as you can see here, it's come out absolutely perfect. Now, looking online, I can't really find out much information about this at all. Some people say it's from the 1980s. I've seen something that was written up from 1992. I think if it is from the 80s, it's definitely the very, very late 80s. I would think 1992 is probably more realistic. But turn it on, and I'm just going to show you a couple of things. So what you have to do is basically, you can pick your games from here. So let's say now if we were to do missing letter, we would just go to 0, 1, and then we can change the level. So level 1 would be easier, but if we were to press level here, it will go to 2, and then it will also go to 3. So it looks like there's 3 levels on each of them, and it does get more challenging. So for example, if you look at that one there, then that would be, I presume, interest. So we press I, and then enter. And then it will come up with another one.
Complete the word.
There you go, so that would be yesterday. So obviously that's relatively easy, but now if we go into multiplication, so if we were to go, for example, to
game number
07.
07.
Now again, if it was just level 1, it would be pretty easy, that's just your times tables. But now if we were to go to level
1,
3,
enter the correct answer.
1 second.
Level 3.
Right, now check this out.
Enter the correct answer.
Right, there we go. So 69 times 8. I mean, that's going to make me think. So let's do 7 times 8 is 40. What's that? 56. 56. That'll be 560. 560 take away 8 would be 552.
552. Good.
There we go.
Enter the correct answer.
70, 140, 161. But you can see now that that is definitely challenging. So
enter the correct
yeah,
answer.
it's not bad. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. But what I'm thinking is perhaps I'm going to show it to my kids, and I might be able to get a little bit of hidden homework in there because they want to shy away from any bit of maths and anything that they can. So yeah, it's not a bad. Let's turn it off. it's not a bad toy. It's not a bad toy. And I also learned about circuit bending. I noticed in the write-up it said about circuit bending, and I didn't have a clue what that meant. I physically thought it might mean actually bending the circuit board, which, if you've seen my Walkman video, you can see that I'm quite good at. But what circuit bending is where you take toys like this that has like an audio output, and then you just randomly tweak the inside of it. So you might like attach a wire to different bits, or you might put in a potentiometer and then twist it and then see what happens to the speech to make various different bits of music. So I think there's a bit of a community out there that are involved in the circuit bending, and that's why it mentioned that in the listing. So with this one here, I have enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. The fix was a really easy one, but yet it wasn't just as boring as cleaning the battery terminals. It was this little adapter here, and I know now that I understand it, it's very simple, but it took me a little while to get my head around it, because obviously when you plug the adapter in, it needs to disconnect the batteries. So now I've seen those loads, and I've seen that there was extra wires coming out of it, but I never really thought anything about it. But now I fully understand it, and of course it needs to disconnect the batteries when that plug is plugged into it, when the adapter plug is in, so it all makes complete sense. So what a nice little fix. It just wasn't allowing the voltage through because there was just a split, you know, a millimetre of a gap in that adapter. That's all it was. So yeah, for me this was well worth spending £5 on, and I think it might get a little bit of use, but even working ones in their box seem to go for £15 to £20. So when you take into account your eBay, PayPal and postage, even if you were to sell this, even though I got it so cheap and the seller would have lost money on it, there's still no money to be made on it. But as far as the video is concerned, I actually quite enjoyed it because it was a really simple fix, and yet the end result is something that is actually okay. So if you liked it, I appreciate if you give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more Trying to Fix videos. Take care, bye now.